asking your first question begins with filling out your profile, right? Most importantly, please put your profile out there. So we want to see your face. Your happy, shining face is really, really important as part of it. Fill out your profile so we know some little bit of context about you and what you're really interested in. So go out there and ask your questions, right? We want to hear about your toughest questions, some of the business scenarios that you're facing right now. And we'll try to give you some advice, and obviously we have a peer-to-peer support community as part of this. And so when you're asking that first question, be really concrete about what it is you're trying to do. Be serious about what kind of infrastructure you're dealing with. Are you dealing with everything on-prem? Are you in a cloud environment? Are there other options available to you? And also don't be scared to describe some of the sort of cultural aspects of the problem. Oftentimes we get business requirements that are not really making a lot of sense from an IT perspective. Be happy to actually query some of those things and actually talk about maybe it's change management, maybe it's understanding, maybe it's just being able to communicate with senior management. So you can have a conversation about all of those aspects, and please post.
If you're asking a question for the first time, I would encourage you to search first. Chances are that somebody has asked the question before. So take a moment or two to see if that information has been discussed before in the community or not. And then if not, speak in your own voice. Make your post. Make a mistake. You may make a mistake the first time or two that you post. I really get the sense that we're all friends. Don't be concerned that you're not asking your questions in the proper technical way. Just be yourself, make your post, and the chances are real good that you're going to get the exact information that you need.
Being pretty much like this HR person that has no knowledge of all these technology words or terms, you know, it was intimidating for me, but really it's not like that. The moment I went in there, I just asked questions, and I would just tell people to not hold back and not feel nervous about asking a dumb question, because it really, no one to this day has ever made me feel dumb or, you know, any less just for asking questions. So yeah, I certainly say don't be shy, don't be scared, just do it.
Yeah, folks will jump into online communities and they'll give a 2-line question which has no technical detail, no in-depth description of the problem, and they'll expect people around the world to solve their problem for them. I mean, that's ridiculous. So come to a community, come equipped to a community, bring your knowledge, but bring the detailed description of your problems, and you have a much better chance of having those problems resolved.
Try to be as clear and concise as you can in your initial question. Also, in this community, the headline matters. So think about the subject of what you're talking about, and make sure you're putting it in the right place. I mean, there's a lot of places to ask questions. Think about where you're putting your question, where you're going to get the most impact. Another thing you can do is also mention somebody else who might know part of that, or somebody you were talking to about it, so they can also contribute to the conversation and keep the thread bubbling up to the top. Before you press the send button on a contentious post, when you're thinking about that hovering moment, like should I send this or should I not, get up and walk away and come back, reread it. And if you're sure, then post it. If you're not, then, you know, maybe rephrase it and come back another day.
Don't tag in loads of people who you think could give you the answer, right? We're all watching for it. The community will be watching for your questions. You'll be amazed how many private messages will flick backwards and forwards saying, it wouldn't be a good idea if you chipped into that one, you answer this one. Because otherwise we get like saturation overload. It's like tagging Satya in every single tweet that you make. I mean, he's not going to answer all of them. He might retweet you once a year, but yeah, it's going to flood inboxes, and really it doesn't help.
Don't be afraid to ask a question. It's what a community is about. We're there to answer questions. Everybody's been there at one point in time. You know, I've been there, you're there, somebody's going to be there later. So if you ask the question, give us enough information. There's somebody that's there who's already experienced the problems you've already had. We can answer it.
If you can find someone who should be knowledgeable about the topic, tag them in the conversation. So if you have a question about, say, using the Office Graph, look at the people who are presenting on that topic here at Ignite, and the session schedule and who the speakers are is available online. And so then post your question and tag some of those people in your discussion. And that's a good way to help it get visibility. The other one is ask other people in the community for advice on who should I tag this with, who can we bring this to the attention of, to help me get an answer to it. And the MVPs in the community are often good at helping escalate the visibility of these questions.
Keep it short, concise, give us some background.
So if you're asking a question for the first time, make sure your question's clear around the circumstances that you're doing. Make sure you put that question in a space that's relevant to the question so you've got the best chance of finding experts who can help you forward. If you know someone who you think might help, take the opportunity to mention their name and invite them into the conversation. If they can't answer, they can certainly bring other people to help you with that problem.